Hello,
Hello.
Hello, Duology.
Jai Balaji. So, how do you call you guys? Akshay,
I'm Akshay,
And
and
I'm Ritika.
Ritika. Ritika, you
Yes.
look just like your dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell
so
me,
how are you doing?
very good. Are you still in school or?
Yes, I'm in college. I'm in my second year in college. And
And then
then,
I'm in 11th grade in high school.
Hmm, okay, interesting. Have you guys spent enough time with your grandfather and grandmother?
yes, so growing up, we always tried to either go visit them in India or they would come here to America. So we kind of had like an alternating system of trying to make sure that they were coming here, we were going there. But yeah, we tried to see them every other year. And then now it's become like we try to see them like every year.
Hmm, interesting. So, would you like to share your experiences spending time with your grandmother, grandfather? Um, it is logical that your grandmother is far more perceptive, sensitive, loving, caring. Your grandfather seems like a hard taskmaster, but that would be for the first generation. But for the second, would you agree with that contrast in your grandparents, or do you think both of them are equally loving towards you guys?
I would say I definitely agree that our Bubba, he has a hard nature, but I do know at in his heart he is soft and he does very much care about us just as much as Ajia. He he does a lot for us whenever we come, and I feel like he takes just as well care of us as Ajia does when we're there in India.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, so, Ritika, I'm sure you would be aware we are trying to institute a Judy Awards, um, something uh, unheard of here in India. Nobody
Yeah.
has attempted that. And the challenge is it is very easy to find out women, those who are very successful in their professions.
Hmm.
Uh, and it is also very easy to find someone who is kind of successful in managing a family.
Yeah.
But it is extremely difficult to find someone who is equally successful in managing her career as well as managing her family, not
Yes.
even the immediate family, the extended family.
Yeah.
Uh, in your perspective, do you think we'll be able to find such women in our society, those who are able to balance both these challenges? Because each of them is quite a challenge, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that you definitely can find people like that. I think there's a lot of people, especially like in this day and age, that are becoming a lot more like they're trying to, just excel in every kind of aspect of their life. And you see a lot of women nowadays who, like, yes, they are taking care of their families, but also like they're trying to do more in their careers, not only like for their own fulfillment, but just for like to also support their families. I think you see that a lot more nowadays than maybe you may have like many years ago, just because in this society now it's like everyone, is taking on like all these different roles. It's not really like split by like men do this, women do that. It's very much like everyone, if they have the aspiration and like the ambition to do something, I think it's like, like sky's the limit and they can definitely reach whatever their potential is.
Mm, right. We are actually finding it very difficult finding such women to give them, to award them.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole perspective is that if we can find out such people and celebrate them, they kind of become role model for kids here in India of your age, you know. Um, I met Rishi last week,
Yeah.
and he he cooked breakfast on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Yeah.
cooked amazing American pancakes. Um,
Yeah.
so Akshay, my generation and my father's generation, your grandfather's generation, the work was cut out. Like women will cook, men will eat, uh, and they will earn the bread, but women will cook the bread. Now Rishi is also earning his bread and cooking his bread too. Uh, uh, would you agree to this transition? Is this going in the right direction? I mean, men and women kind of sharing each other's work. What is your thought?
I would say, yeah, I 100% agree with the progression. I think it's very important to have that balance. I think in general, the whole system of just the men um, earning the money and the women doing the cooking and cleaning, it was very unbalanced. And I think that, I mean, at least for me, I enjoy cooking a lot. So I mean, I might be a little bit biased, but I do agree that it's good to get that progression because I think that women are equally or even more capable a lot of the time to do the task that men do. And so I think it was wrong that they're for this long that they haven't been able to reach that full potential.
Hmm. So, looking at your grandmother's journey till now, she is about to turn 80 years. Um, do you think she was capable of making her own successful career if she wanted to, uh, but she did not? Would you consider that a sacrifice, or would you consider that a well-judged choice? How would you guys have you guys ever thought about this from her
Yeah.
perspective, from a woman's perspective?
Yeah, I've thought about it a lot in terms of like she definitely had like a lot going on. Like I'd say growing up, like from the stories we hear about them in India, but then also them like in America with like the tire factory and with all like the different companies like that Bubba had going on, she became like kind of like a business partner, like an automatic business partner, like being the wife. It's like, a lot of those roles, you kind of just like take them on. And like, I think a lot of times maybe she maybe didn't feel prepared, or maybe she didn't feel that like, she was ready to take on all those roles. But I think when you're put in a situation where like you have to be like a good mother, you have to be like a good wife, like all these different roles, I think eventually over time, you definitely develop like, a lot of kind of skill in those different areas. And I don't think it was necessarily like easy for her like all the time, because it was like managing all these different, like you were saying, with like the career aspect and like the home life, like all these different aspects. I don't think it was necessarily easy for her all the time, but I think that because of her like willpower, she was able to kind of manage all of those different priorities, and she was able to kind of fill all the different roles that she, had to fill.
Hmm. I was talking to your grandfather last week, and uh, I asked him to be honest and tell me how his contribution had been in shaping his wife's, which is your grandmother's life.
Mm-hmm.
And he straight up, without even thinking, he simply said that he had been at the best obstacles in her life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
uh, first, I thought it takes a great courage to speak like that, because I know 99.99% of the men beating their chest as to what kind of great contributions they have had
Mm-hmm.
in the family of in the lives of their family members. But here is a man who has achieved so much, and yet at his age, he is suggesting that if he had been a little different, things might have been very, very different. I mean, when you
Yeah.
hear such things, I mean, I have a lot of respect for your grandfather just because of this statement. You know,
Yeah.
when you hear him say like that, what kind of thoughts might cross your mind?
I think that we a lot of the time we only think about things in our perspective, and I think we have to understand that the time that he was coming from was a very different time than where we are now, and it was almost the expectation to do the path that him and Ajia took. And so Bubba might say now that he was the biggest obstacle, and he might be right in his own respects, but I think if he was married in today's world, I think things might have been a lot different because the especially like gender roles have changed quite a bit. And I think um their paths, like in terms of what Ajia could have done as a career versus what she could have done all the way back then, I think they are starkly different than when you compare them to each other.
Mm. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I also agree with the fact that like that is a very like it is very powerful to make a statement like that because I think sometimes people like what you were saying, it's like sometimes people they find it so easy to just like when they see someone's success, like to just like try to find their way to get the credit for it in some way, like in some manner. Like how can we get the credit for that person's like, success? But I think it's very powerful to admit that like not that he didn't play any role in her success, but that like give her credit for the things that she accomplished because everyone in their own way accomplishes these things and it's like yes there was many people that led them to that success but at the end of the day it was their willpower and like their own like whatever kept them going they should get credit for the things that they accomplished too.
Yeah. You know, I'm a man, I've been working for almost 30 years now, and I wish I were a woman and I could find a husband who can be successful, and me, I don't have to do anything, you know. But
Yeah.
when I think of being a woman and taking care of family, uh, large families, big extended families, then I
Mm-hmm.
would revert my wish and I would say, oh no, I'm good being a man. I'm good earning money and doing nothing else other than that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't truly understand how women bring so much of courage. Um, she has been of an age, but you, as a girl today, looking at her, can you imagine even girls bringing that kind of courage and willpower even today to lead a life like that, being capable and yet sacrificing one's own personal ambitions only?
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's very much possible, but I think like to that extent, I just think you don't necessarily see that much nowadays. At least like I don't think I personally do. I think a lot of people nowadays, it's like they're very much centered around like their own success, their own like, goals and whatever they can do to like achieve those. So for someone to be able to look at like what they want to do, but then also be able to look at the bigger picture of like with some sacrifices that we make we could positively impact this like how you said the whole extended family like all the people like in her life that can say that they somehow were like influenced by her actions and like all of that like I think a lot of people nowadays are so focused on what they want to achieve that they don't look at the bigger picture they don't look at the long term plan of like how their actions like matter and I think she was able to really do that and like till this day I mean there's like probably just like hundreds of people that can somehow say that she influenced them for the better like in just in some minor way maybe but just like I think what she did has definitely like left a very lasting impact because she was able to look beyond herself and I think it's something that a lot of people in this generation like can definitely learn from to look beyond yourself and how you can affect the greater like community and like your family.
Okay. All right. So, is there a question you think should be asked, which you would love to answer about your grandmom, about her 80th birthday? Any instance that you would like to share? It's open mic kind of a situation now.
I think just in general, any like I just want to like open the floor to like all of our favorite memories that we have with Ajia, because like at least in my experience, it's just all the time that we're there, it seems that we're always maximizing our time with Ajia. Like this last trip, I learned how to cook. I learned Hindi. She was teaching me Hindi, and I think just in general, like all those little moments, you don't really appreciate them until you're not with Ajia. In the moment, you're kind of just there, but then afterwards, you think about like how we would just be sitting at the dinner table just like laughing the entire time. And you just like you remember those kinds of moments because in the moment you obviously don't value it quite as much as when you don't have a Gia right in front of you. And I think for me, my favorite moments have not been like the super big trips that we've gone on with the extended family. It's just been able to spend one-on-one time or time in just a small group with Ajia. I think that's what I value the most personally.
Mm.
Yeah. I know one like a really fun memory I have is that ever since I was little, like every year when we would go to India, she like I would always see her like wearing like a sari. That's like her main thing that she likes to wear. So like I always wanted her to like put one on me. And then she like put one on me
Yeah.
like from a very young age. Pretty much every year I went back, like I always wanted her to like put one on me. And just like it kind of just made me feel like, kind of like a bit closer to her in that way because that's like her, the her like definitely like her choice of what she likes to wear. And then also another thing, is just like what Akshay was saying with like the kind of like the smaller moments of just like helping her in the kitchen. Like, you've heard about her apple pie probably, which is like everyone likes that a lot. So like
Yeah.
as we got older, she actually started like teaching us how to make it and was like, no, like now you guys are old enough, like you can make it on your own too.
It's never the same
Yeah,
though.
it obviously never tastes the same as her version, but we always just like we took pleasure in just like learning little things from her, like just being around someone, you like pick up on a lot of little like habits and like you learn little things that you may not like think in the moment you're even picking up anything, but then later on like you remember all those little things that you might have picked up, like the little things you learned here and there, and like I think those things are like very valuable too.
Yeah. Your grandfather had brothers, and he kind of spent a lot of time. Guys do have a lot of cousin brothers, sisters.
Yeah.
Do
Mhm.
you guys remember huddling together? Do you get enough opportunities year on year? All of you guys coming together, spending some time, maybe not now, or maybe earlier when you guys were growing up. You remember those times?
Yeah, so we live about like an hour from a city it's called Michigan City. It has a lot of our cousins live there. And then we also have our bua's kids, and then also um we have a city about 3 hours away, and I think our mom and dad they've always made it an effort to make sure that we spend time with our extended family because I think it's important to nurture those relationships for sure. So I mean, multiple when we were younger, it was multiple times a month we would go down and go see everyone, even just to be there and to spend time with them because I think it is a very important part of life. But then also we plan trips with everybody every like Christmas and Thanksgiving. We all come together. We try to plan trips, and I think I've very much appreciated them doing that because some of my like besides Didi obviously, but some of the people I'm the closest with are my cousins. So yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna add that growing up, just like going to like whether it was like a birthday party or just like any sort of small gatherings, like whatever scale, it was always nice that like from a young age we were kind of like brought around like our cousins and our extended family. So like growing up, like it never felt like, like weird to be around them. It never felt like like awkward or anything because kind of growing up like we grew up together. So like growing up older, like we all like as we got older, I think we all kind of got closer just because we kind of have all like grown up together. It's really been nice like living like where we live. Like we're only like an hour away from like most of them. So it's kind of nice because that makes it like, that takes out the aspect of like, oh, they're too far, we can't go see them. Like an hour is really not that far. So like they
Yeah.
made it really easy growing up. Either they'd come here, we go there, but like some combination of that.
Hmm. Yeah. So, um, it's a difficult question that I'm going to throw at you both. Um,
Mhm.
your parents, your grandparents, all of their marriages were arranged,
Mhm.
and someday in the future, you guys would get married as well. Would you even consider getting marriage as arranged from your families, or like your current age Gen Zs, they try and get married of their own choice? Have you ever given a thought on that?
Yeah, I've thought about it. Kind of my take on it is, I guess like growing up, like we've been very fortunate to see like in our within our family, just like seeing all the marriages that have like lasted throughout the years. It kind of really put into perspective for us that like a marriage that like was arranged can still be very much like it can be successful. Like we've seen it prove kind of throughout like various just like couples throughout our family. And I think that really showed that like if it has worked for kind of like so many people in our lives, like then why can't it work for us? So I definitely think that that's something that like that I don't see as like really a problem, because I think it's been proven kind of that like it does work and those marriages like do last. So
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that. Especially because Priya Didi, she also recently got an arranged marriage, and that's someone like in our generation. So I think it was good to see that like the tradition was moving on, not just for the first two generations, but also to our generation as well, because it has been very successful for sure.
Yeah. Just to let you know, I didn't even see my wife before I got married. My
yeah.
father just arranged it and he just called me up and he said, "Boy, you got to be here because you're going to get married on this particular date." Um, and when after I got married, and I've been married for the last 22 years now,
Mhm.
even if I had tried hard, very hard, I couldn't have managed a girl like my wife that I have today. So I mean, some of us have been lucky in the arranged marriages. I don't find very many lucky people when they find their own mates, but I'm
Mhm.
old, call me old, but nevertheless, that's how it is. So that's a good perspective to have. I think I don't have very many questions now. Um, so if there's anything that you guys would like to add out of your own uh, mind, or else we will conclude it for now.
I wanna say thank you to you for helping create this award. I think it's really I can't even like come up with words to describe how much Ajia deserves something like this. I think all the sacrifices she's made over her life and um all of the like you can't even count the amount of people's lives that she's positively impacted. And I think that she's one of the most deserving people I know for something like this. And in general, I think you can definitely tell that when you spend some time around her. Like recently, I went this summer on a cruise with her, and then I've also been to the Maldives with her as well. And those were both very small groups, and so when you just get to talk to Gia, I think you really realize how great of a person she is, and just how caring and loving she is about everybody. And I think that it's just something that words can't describe. You just have to know her. And I think that's why it's so important to find people like that in the world and to reward them for that, because it's not often that you come by someone like her.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so thank you very much. It's not just me, it's a team out there. Your grandfather is a very smart, thoughtful, resourceful man.
Mhm.
So it is a teamwork, uh, and there's a good team which is trying to work this out, and we are individually just playing our parts. So whenever you visit Betul, perhaps we'll all meet and then we can have this discussion moving forward. This is just the first year of the award, but as the years progress, you would see that things are moving fast in the right direction,
Yeah.
and I'll be able to make you meet the actual team behind it. I'm just the front face. That's all that I am, but there's a lot of work being done behind my
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, I'm excited for sure to see
Yeah.
the team and to see how you guys are getting everything to work on this because it's one of the coolest things I've seen so far.
Yeah. I know she'll be really excited about it too.
Oh, yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
she is in her normal self elated. I mean, her first question when we were discussing this, your grandmother's question was, who might be interested in something like me? I said, oh, you don't know.
Yeah, that just shows like her like humble nature that she doesn't even like see like the goodness in herself that like everyone else around her can like see because that's just like who she is, that's just like she doesn't think that she's really like anything special, but to everyone else it's like they would argue, that she is.
Yeah, she's very selfless, and it's hard to find someone as selfless as her to begin with, but then to also be that selfless and to be humble about it and to not even like the example you're saying, to not even realize what you're doing and for the amount of people that you're doing it for, you never come by someone like her.
Yeah, just because she said that, I said, now this thing has to go out. It has to become
Yeah.
successful.
That's the reason,
Just,
yeah.
yeah,
Just because of that, yeah.
yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
So
This is the
Thank you
much.
so
first
much.
time.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is the first time I'm speaking to you guys. Hopefully,
Yes.
this is not going to be the last. You take care
Yes.
of you guys, okay?
All
Yes,
right,
you
thank you. I
too.
hope to
Thank
see you.
you.
Jai
Yeah.
Balaji.
Bye bye. Jai Balaji.